This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's that time of year again where I get to reflect upon all the stuff I've reviewed over the last 12 months and pick my top five, basically. This is a Tuesday after all, Top 5 Tuesday, and this is the big one. This is the top 5 of the year in terms of the equipment that I've reviewed over, as I say, the last 12 months. It was a long old list. I've done, I think, more reviews this year than previous years. I've been very fortunate to be in a position to do that, and it was a tricky one narrowing this down to 5, but I have, after much deliberation and rumination, I've managed to get it down to the 5 pieces of gear that I think are the best things I've reviewed this year, starting with
Blue Guitar Amp 1, Mercury Edition.
Yes, indeed, the Blue Guitar Amp 1 Mercury Edition. I bought this from a pal of mine in the Netherlands. He's called Edwin, and he had this, and it just wasn't getting used. And I tried one out back end of 2022, which belonged to another mate of mine called Craig. I was really impressed with it, but I didn't really need it because I was using the Marshall DSL-1 at the time, and very happy I was with the tones from that. But I uttered the kind of magic words, didn't I? I said, well, unlike any other Marshall, this one seems really reliable. Within weeks, it just died on me. Just started emitting a horrible, angry, buzzing sound. And Edwin had mentioned that he'd got this Blue Guitar Amp 1 for sale, so I grabbed it off him. He gave me a very good friend price, and I've been using it ever since. And I have never been happier with the guitar tones I get than I have out of this Blue Guitar Amp 1. It is priceless to me now, and there's lots and lots of things coming along, ways of getting guitar tones. I mean, the Fender Tone Master Pro thing, then there's the Tone X pedal, and all these kind of ways of just getting a fantastic guitar tone. I'm sure they are, but the Blue Guitar Amp 1 is my way of doing that, of getting guitar tones that I love, and I'll never part with it. It's a priceless thing to me, and it definitely had to be on this list. Next,
Harley Benton Fusion T.
Yeah, the Harley Benton Fusion T. Now, here it is here, in fact. Why did I buy this? Well, it's pretty well documented that I had a bit of a falling out with a chap who was making my signature guitar, and I can't really talk too much about that for reasons that I can't really go into here. But suffice to say that the business relationship between myself and the guy who was making my signature guitar did go a little bit pear-shaped. But before that happened, before that whole saga unfolded, Toman had a sale on, and I thought, oh, that looks a bit nice. Twin humbucker Telecaster, roasted maple neck, stainless steel frets. That ticks a lot of the same boxes that my signature guitar also ticked, or my ex-signature guitar, I should say, really. And it was just so ridiculous cheap. I paid £195 for this guitar. I mean, just look at those specs. Roasted maple, stainless steel frets, locking tuners. It's a bargain at that place, even if you've got to mod it a little bit, which I haven't done. The only thing I don't like about this is the top, really. I don't dislike it, but it looks a little bit sort of kitchen worktop, doesn't it? On this, but what you lose in the kind of figuring there, you certainly gain it in the neck there. The figuring on that roasted maple is something to behold, really. I get a lot of people accusing me of being some kind of shill for Harley Benton. I'm not. If I was, I certainly wouldn't be telling you that Tourman are on the naughty step with me and will remain so for quite some time. I had appalling customer service from them last time I bought anything. I think it was this guitar, and they can whistle if they want any more money off me in the for the foreseeable future. I'm just not going to spend my money with them because I didn't like the way they behaved there. But this guitar, I really, really like it, and it's become just a regular part of my rotation. The three guitars I tend to play the most these days are this, my Les Paul, and my PRS. And the only reason those two aren't on this list is because I didn't review them this year. They're from the year before. But couldn't not mention this guitar. Absolutely love it. And again, that one's going nowhere. Next,
Epiphone 59 Les Paul.
Yes, a good friend of this channel, a Mr. Rob Bald from north of the border there up in Scotland. He had an Epiphone 59 Les Paul. I think he has a couple of them, and whenever you've got more than one of the same guitar, you always gravitate towards one rather than the other. And the one he wasn't gravitating towards, he sent down to me, and the instruction was simple: pay me the money I want for it, or sell it and send me the money. So, as I say, I've already got a Les Paul. This one here, I've got this Gibson Les Paul Tribute. So I couldn't really justify having two Les Pauls. So do I hang on to the top of the Epiphone family tree, the 59 Les Paul, or the bottom of the Gibson family tree? And ultimately, the Gibson won my heart. I've really bonded with that guitar, but it was a close run thing. That Epiphone 59 Les Paul is one of the best single cut guitars I have ever played, and it was. To this day, I'm still thinking I wish I could have kept both, but I couldn't. So I had to sell it, and then I sent the money on up to its rightful owner, Mr. Bald up in Scotland. But yeah, that was a guitar I was sorry to see go, the 59 Les Paul. Next,
Gibson Les Paul Custom.
Yeah, now this guitar, again, doesn't belong to me. It's one of my students, a mate of mine called Andrew. He was overseas at the time, and I got an email from him. I think, was it an email? Yeah, it was an email. And he basically said that would I take delivery of a guitar that he had coming. Have you seen those adverts for that Guitar Gear giveaway? Where you buy a raffle ticket for a couple of quid or something, and, you win a guitar, and there's everything in there from Squires all the way up to custom shop Gibson Les Paul Customs, and he won the Gibson Les Paul Custom. He was overseas, and he got in touch with me and said, can I get them to send it to you and make a few videos with it if you want to? So I said, oh, okay then. I don't mind. I'll happily do you that favour. And it was a beautiful guitar. Would it be worth $4,500 of my money? I don't think it would be, to be honest with you, because I had an Epiphone Les Paul Custom that's about 600 quid not long after that, and I even did a side-by-side comparison, and the Epiphone was a great guitar, and you would not think there was like thick end of £4,000 price difference, but there was just something supremely enjoyable about playing like a real top shelf guitar like that that I really enjoyed, and it sounded great, played beautiful, probably the lowest action I've ever had on any guitar, properly nicely set up, as you would expect for that kind of money, but it's now gone back down to Andrew, and he keeps toying with the idea of moving it on, because what he could sell that for, he could buy like a bunch of other guitars with it, but I think he's really kind of fallen for it in a big way. He's always playing it in the lessons and really digging it, so I don't think that's that's going to be leaving his hands anytime soon, and understandably so. Fantastic guitar. Next.
Music Man, Axis, Super Sport.
Yeah, I did a video, months ago now, talking about guitars that I was curious about. Not sort of bucket list guitars, I must own one of those, but guitars where I was curious, so much good stuff said about them that you think, well, I should really try one of those. And on that list of guitars there was a Music Man Axis Super Sport. I played Music Man guitars in the past. I went to one of those Guitarist magazine, little mini NAMM shows that they used to do in the late 80s and early 90s, and actually met Albert Lee there as well when he was, before he'd even got his Music Man signature, he was playing a Silhouette at the time. And he was kind of banging the drum for them there. Nice guy. And I played, that was my first experience of playing Music Man guitars, and I've had me paws on a few of them ever since, but I've never played an Axis Super Sport. And, find a bad review of one. You just can't. And so that was one of the guitars on the list. Anyway, a chap got in touch with me and said, I've got one of those Music Man Axis Super Sports. I'll be passing your kind of the end of your road, if you like. Well, going past our little part of the world in a couple of weeks. Do you want me to drop it off? I'll leave it with you for a couple of weeks. Make some videos with it. So again, quite touching really that people who, the only way they've ever met me is down a webcam like this on YouTube, that they will lend me a guitar. It's flattering and humbling and, touching all in one. And I really love that Music Man. That was, just a properly nice guitar. I think the holy grail of guitar builders really, isn't it, is to build a guitar that will sound like a Telecaster convincingly, will sound convincingly like a Strat and a Les Paul all in one guitar. And many manufacturers kind of get pretty close, and including PRS, I guess. But I guess the closest that I think I've ever been is that Music Man Axis Super Sport. Absolutely stunningly great guitar. Just when you pick a guitar up and you think, this feels just like it's been done properly, and people haven't thought, let's cut a few corners here, let's save a few pennies here and there. No, we're going to do it right. And that's pretty much how that guitar really did feel in every way. It just exuded quality. So there you go, folks. Those are my picks for the 5 top pieces of kit that I've reviewed this year. I'll put links to all of the full reviews down in the description so you can go and check them out. And if you're a member of my Patreon, there's the address, link in the description. $3 or I think it's £3 a month now, but up on Patreon you'll find tabs and jam tracks for all of the full demos that are in all of those videos. I set a link to it all in the description. But that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars. Great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.